Whose bike is this, is it? Can I get a juicy? Coming soon.
What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we toss, get it in. But before we get it in, let's get this intro in. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humble. It's been a minute, huh? You guys ready for another Super Norteño? Simón, cabrones, I know you are. Viva Mexico, cabrones! Viva Super Norteño as well, right? Devato got at me like, whooping, can I still have the Wega bird? I was like, yeah, why couldn't you? So what they said, Cesar Chavez, they say he did bad shit. I said, yeah, but I think you'll be all right. Well, whooping, I don't. Let's go, right? So this one, right, is the Super Varrio, right? Hey, Ricky thought he was in like Flynn. He thought he finally had some homeboys, man. It's been a long time. He shouldn't have left you without a god knowledge to step to, right? He thought he had some homeboys. But let me tell you guys right now, he got beat up and all his homeboys got beat up. And that's just the way it was going to go down. So, look, Rick has always been a loner. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, what's his name? Chuck Norris, Lone Wolf McQuaid, right? You kick my fucking teeth out. He's always been a loner. It's always been him against the world, right? Him and the Norteño movement against the world. Although the homeboys like to give him a rough time, a hard time. I remember every time I brought him in the body or something, they'd be like, let me get at you. I already knew. It was like Pepe saying, can I get at you? But it was different. It was like, let me get at you, bro. Why'd you bring him, eh? All he does is drink beer and act weird. And I'm like, I brought him here for a beer and some weirdness. I don't know, bro. He's my primo. I got to deal with it. I've dealt with him my whole fucking life, right? My tia, you're not going to go anywhere if you don't take your cousin with you. I said, I don't even live here, tia. That's right. And that's the fucking reason you don't, because you don't listen. There's rules in this house. 1, take them with you so I can get mine. 2, take them with you so I can get mine. And 3, what is it? Take it with me. You got that right, bitch. Right? So my tia, she had rules in her house. So every time I went to her house, she wanted me to take Rick somewhere. Hey, mijo, what are you doing this afternoon? Nothing, tia. I was just going to kick back and shit. No, you weren't. You're going to come pick Rick up and take him. 2 of my boyfriends are coming over, and I have to figure out which one I want first. All right. Right? So I'd go over there and pick him up. Anyways, I'd take him in the neighborhood, take him around. So one day I felt a little cousinish, right? Like, man, let me go pick up my primo, man. I'm gonna take him, go get him some In-N-Out. You know what I'm saying? He likes the sauce they got there. Take him, go get him a motherfucking animal style fries, and then go drop his punk ass off. Like, this is what I'm thinking, right? And hopefully we could avoid Sheila, because she could smell In-N-Out like you're out and in. Like, she knows. She'll be like, where are you guys going? I'll be like, nah, we're not gonna go. You guys are going In-N-Out. Damn it, how do you know? Right? She can just smell it. It smells like rodeo burgers in here. Like, I did have one. Like at 10 o'clock, it's now 3 in the afternoon. I guess that shit stays on you, right? She could sense food from 10 miles away. She'd be like, you know what I feel like eating right now? I'm like, what? She's like, those little burritos that they have at the casita, the chile verde one. How'd she know I went there for breakfast? Like, she just knows, right? So anyways, I'm hoping to avoid her, swoop him up and be like, hey, man, we're going to go work on my car and shit. Your car looks like it runs fine. Yeah, bitch. It's going to run on In-N-Out fumes. We're gone. So I pick him up, or I go to pick him up. And my tia opens the door and she's like, what do you want, stupid ass? I said, I'm here to pick Rick up. She goes, okay, surprise, surprise. All of a sudden now you want to be cousins. He's not here. He hasn't been here for about 4 days. He's probably locked up. He hasn't called yet. So you know my rule in the house. What's this rule? If you don't call, fuck you. That's your rule, right? So I'm like, shit, let me get a hold of him. So I call him and he's not answering. I'm like, damn, I start to feel nervous because anytime Rick disappears, it's like a big thing. Like, we'll have to put an ad in the paper for him because he just is always there. He's always on the porch. He's ready to jump off the porch all the time, right? For him to be disappearing in action, there could only be a couple of different things. 1, he's locked up. He done did something stupid on his way to Circle K. Or 2, he done made him a torta and he's getting his poundalization on, right? That's all it could be with Rick. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing in between. Whoopin, guess what? I beat up 4 Southsiders, right? Why you got 2 black guys? Because each one of them, right? Like, come on. So, anyways, trip out on this, right? I'm calling, doesn't answer. I'm like, fuck it, man. Right there, I'm getting fucking nervous because if he's not around, his social security check stops. And with that being said, mijo, take me to the casino and drop me out because it just hit. So I'm like, yeah, he'll come home. Maybe he's with Sheila or something. No, the fat bitch is here. We had a pack of tortillas this big, the 30 pack. It's now down to about 3. So you know she's here. Straight, we call her mantaquilla, right? So I'm like, all right, let me just get a hold of him. So I go cruising around Merced because usually if he's not in Gustine, he goes to the town. Like he has homies that'll pick him up, take him to places. I'm like, man, fuck him. So I go get me some In-N-Out first, right? I'm out and in that motherfucker, right? I go get me that little, you know what I'm saying, animal stack it, monkey fries and all that shit, all the good stuff. And I eat, you know what I mean? And who do you think calls me? Give you one guess. Sheila's like, where you at? Like, have you found Ricky yet? I'm like, chewing his shit. What are you eating? I said, what about Ricky? What about him? What are you eating? Right? She's on it. So anyways, I'm cruising around town. I get at some of the homeboys. I pull up on them. They're right there fucking by a taco truck drinking and shit. I'm like, what's up, bro? Hey, you see my primo? Which one, eh? The stupid one. Oh, no, I ain't seen that for since the last time. Remember when we were all fucking in the pool and he was like, look, bubbles, and he was farting and shit? I said, yeah, shit, that shit was crazy, eh? It's a different story I have to tell you, the farting incident, right? But I'm like, yeah, you ain't seen him? They're like, nah, hey, fucking... If I run into him, I'll tell him you're looking for him. I said, yeah. Well, he's probably on foot, more than likely. So he's not going to be a hard person to run into. So I'm cruising around, right? So at this particular time, there was a neighborhood that just started. And we weren't too sure what the fuck these guys were. They were talking about Brown Pride. They were called Homeboys for Life. Now, there was a group called NFL Nortenos for Life. There was Rebels Before Lokes. There was Dead End Lokes. There was Loft Bro Lokes. There was all kinds of different Lokes, right? There was all kinds of different gangs. But this gang just came out of nowhere, Homeboys for Life. And we thought because they used a 4 in their name that they were Norteños, but we weren't too sure. Now, the 2 guys who had started this neighborhood, or one of them, and the other one, they were 2 brothers. I went to school with them. One of them's name was Mario. The other one, I forget his name, man, but he was a homie. He was cool. He was a northerner. I remember these vatos, they moved from like LA or so. I don't know. They used to wear hairnets on their head, fucking big ass pants up to their fucking nipples. Like they were just different. You could tell. And the older brother named Mario, dark, ugly motherfucker. He had the baddest old lady too, man. I don't know what she seen in him. That motherfucker right there, fail. But anyways, man, he looked like my fucking Bulls jersey. Trip out on this, right? The ugly parts. That fool had he had the beaches, right? He was doing his thing. So anyways, he had started a group and they were like Edgars before Edgars. They all had remember those bangs that came out in the front? You guys remember when motherfuckers used to cut their hair bald and just have bangs on the side? All dyed blonde and shit at the tips. That was them. You know what I'm saying? The homeboys used to be like, them fools are paisitas. I'm like, nah, they're not. Even paisas don't do that shit. That is some different type of shit right there. Them vatos are just like, they want to be different, right? And so at that time, that gang had started Homeboys for Life. But like I said, some people thought they were Norteños, some people didn't know. Every time you caught up with one of them, which was very rarely, they would say, oh, I'm a Brown Prider, I'm a Brown Prider. They actually had brown rags and shit in the back. But according to my history in Norteñoisms, Brown Pride always meant either you were a Brown Pride Norteño or you were Southsider. And that was like common knowledge amongst Norteños that you would hit vatos up that you thought were Southerners or something. They'd always tell you I'm from Brown Pride, eh? Right? Like that mattered to somebody. Back then it was north, south, or nothing, right? But I get it. And because I have a big place in my heart for the raza, vatos be like, Brown Pride, eh? I'd be like, that's right. Then fucking on the other side of his rag, it says, Sur, ese bitch, right? You know what I mean? So anyways, I'm cruising around now where my neighborhood is. These vatos actually had a home in my neighborhood, but they were just like, that's not their barrio. They just lived there. They had no barrio. They just had a gang. You know, they were displaced, basically. And at that particular time, there was a lot of gangs that were springing up that were gaining traction. And, you know, my city, man, is different from like LA and San Jose, where these gangs are fucking generations long. Like, I'm actually from the first generation of my neighborhood. Like, we've only been around 30, 40 years now. Damn, the wind's blowing. We've been around for a minute, but we're not talking about hundreds of years like White Fence and Florencia and these gangs that have been around for fucking 1,000 years out there in Sanjo, gangs that have been around, Palmas and Horseshoe and all these gangs that have been around forever, the mob and all that, right? So anyways, I'm cruising around and I happen to go by that house, and who do I see in the front? And then I was kicking him, and then I was kicking him, and I was choking the fucking shit out of him. And I was saying, Norte gang, you can tell by the writing on the wall. I pull up, I said, Rick, wait up, I'm telling a story. Get your ass in the car, fool. Whoopin'. I said, your mom, everyone's looking for you. Where you been? I got homeboys. I'm from a neighborhood. I got jumped in. I said, bro, you're already from a neighborhood. Well, you're not really from a neighborhood, but you're from a city. And you didn't have to get jumped in. Come here. Come here. What are you doing? These are my homeboys for life. Right? And I didn't catch it in the beginning. And I'm like, what do you mean? You're homeboys for life, right? Yeah, we're homies. They see me walking and they gave me a ride. I said, it says, you wanted to get jumped into their neighborhood 2 hours later. No, it was 4 hours because Norte. I said, then it hit me. I said, homeboy for life, I seen Mario, right? I'm like, what's up, bro? He looks at me kind of crazy, right? Like, and I'm like, hey, come here, right? And I said, it's my primo, eh? What's going on? He was like, nah, it's the homie shit, man. We put him on. I was like, who the fuck said you guys are even allowed to be on you guys, right? And he was like, nah, bro, nah, we're not, no disrespect, bro. We're just brown priders. Ricky's like, Whoopin', I thought you said you were homies. He said, we are homies. We're brown priders, though. Ricky's like, Whoopin', what the fuck is that? I was like, Ricky, let's go spin the block. So, of course, we pull up to a park, man. McNamara Park back in the days, the Ghetto Boys neighborhood. But back then, the boys wasn't even, they were in existence, but there was only a couple homies from the boys, right? Not like they are now, Ghetto Boys, where the rapper GB's from, right? They weren't like how they are now. There was only a couple of them. They were just starting out. We pull up to McNamara Park. Back then, the brothers used to control it, man. There was a group out there called McNamara Lynch Mob. They were brothers, man. A lot of fun crack being sold right there. Like, that park's always been that one, right? So we pull up right there. We're just chilling. And I tell Ricky, what are you doing, man? I said, you know them Vatos fucking, the homies don't even know if they're Southern. What, but they're not Southsiders. I'll fuck them all up. I said, you ain't going to do nothing. That dude Mario beat your ass, bro. What, but if I know when he was jumping me, I felt him kick me. It wasn't hard. I said, well, look, we're going to go hit him up. We're going to ask them. And they say they're brown priders, but I have a feeling, man, something's tricky, right? So we go pull back up over there. They're like, no, we're brown pride, bro. We're not like that. All right, cool. So I drop Ricky off. He's like, tell my mom I'm fine. She doesn't care. She just wants to check. And she got it. So she's good. So I leave him where I found him. Fuck it, right? He's kicking it with his new homeboys, the fucking Wedigers. Not the Edgars, the Wedigers, because they had like a wedge between their head and their hair was all fucked up. So I leave him right there. So I jam, right? So it's about a week later. He's back and forth home. He's kicking it with his new homies. I'm like, at least he found people that are stupid like him. Like they accept him. The homies wasn't going to do that shit, right? So he's over there kicking it. He's flamed up. None of them. They're all wearing brown or black. A couple wear blue, right? Which was a little odd, but we're going to get to that. So we were having a party right in the neighborhood, right? And our definition of party back then wasn't house party, with none of that. It was a few chicks, a keg of beer, and like 10 homeboys all trying to get on the same chicks. That's how it was. Truth, right? So we're in the homeboys' backyard. We got 30 packs flowing, kegs flowing, half a keg that we stole, flowing. And what was it? One of those party balls. It wasn't even a keg. It was a party ball. But we made it look good, though. They were like 20. They weren't 20s. They were 10s, but we kept them clean, though. Same thing with the party ball. The pony cake, right? So everyone's drinking the pony cake, party balls, whatever the fuck it was. We're having a good time. And what happened was one of the homegirls that lived in the neighborhood, right? She calls and she was like, hey, fool, all them fools are here. We're like, who? She's like, Atwater. Now, at that time, A-Town was Southsiders. So we're like, ooh, they're in our neighborhood? Oh, we're going to smack something backwards, right? We're coming. She was like, hey, there's one fucking J-Cat here. He's crazy, right? So I said, what does he look like? She said, he's bald. He has a Mongolian. I said, well, then he's a northerner. Then them ain't fucking Atwater. There ain't no way. She goes, you don't understand. I heard them. They were saying Su 13 and all that. I said, you're bullshitting. Put the phone up in there, right? So me and my boy Cameron, this and you can hear him like, yeah, said, fuck, we fucked those busters up. I'm like, why I never? I said, keep those motherfuckers there, right? So I'm not going to say exactly what we grabbed, but we grabbed something. And about 2 carloads of us go. We just have to go like 2 blocks over. There's like, we have Dead End Park. It's our little park. And then on the other side, there was their house, right? And she already knows. So she's waiting outside smoking a cigarette, big old fat thing, right? She's over there just engulfing it, right? Just cigarette after cigarette. Just, they're disappearing. She hits a cigarette like that and then blows out clouds. It's crazy, right? She is the Marlboro woman. So as we pull up, I see Mari and them, right? And I automatically know the dude she's talking about is Rick. So we pull up on him and we jump off. And my homeboys, we're not going to say too much more, but I'm like, hey, Whoopin', Ricky, come here, hurry up, right? Whoopin', we're partying with chicks. She likes me. The biggest chick in there, right? No, he likes her. She don't like him. She put them on blast. So my homies are like, what's up, fool? You vatos and them other dude? You get them things, man? You guys them other guys, right? They're like, no, we're brown pride. The homies like, fuck all that, bro. You guys got fucking a minute to get the fuck up out of our neighborhood. We're going to kill you, motherfucker. But I live on the next block. I don't give a fuck where you live, bro. You better relocate, right? So they're like, nah, man, it's not like that. So Ricky's like, whooping, those are homies. I tell you they're homies. I said, Ricky, they're not homies. These vatos are undercover Southsiders, eh? What do you mean? Ask them. That dude Mario's a gangster, right? I got to give him his respect. He was like, nah, we're just brown priders, but we kick it with A-Town. Ricky's like, well, who's A-Town? I said, the Southsiders that always beat you up when we go to Foster Freeze. Weapon! He went into full Welga flight mode. Ricky's like, I wanna get jumped out. They're like, and the homies are like, fuck, jumped out? You got jumped in? Well, you too. Ricky's like, Weapon, you know I'm a homie. I've always been a homie. He's like this with his hands up. I've always been a homie. Always. I don't support Cesar Chavez though, but I'm a homie, right? And let me tell you something right now. That dude Mario's like, well, then get the fuck on then. The homie's like, well, hold up. Fuck this domestic shit. Everybody get on. You too, fool. I'm like, nah, fool, this is my primo, but I don't have nothing to do with what he's part of, right? Ricky's like, Weapon, fuck that. You guys kick it with Southsiders. They're like, we kick it with everyone. Ricky's like, you don't kick it with me. I want to fight every one of you. Let me tell you, there was about 6 or 7 dudes. We watched. Of course, they were under duress for various reasons. Ricky mollywopped each and every one of them dudes profusely. Ricky was that motherfucker doing the Welga bird fucking shuffle. Whooping, whooping, my mom would be proud. Whooping. He was fucking shit up, right? A couple of them caught him or whatever, man. I just let him get off where he's mad. He fought each one of them doing the, no, I'm out of your gang. I said, so you're no longer part of the super Varrio or what? Fuck their Varrio. They don't even have one. We had to walk to the store and they were scared. I said, you wanted to be a part of that? I thought they were cool. I said, nah, they were so cool. They called you a culo and fucked you. Let's go, right? So we go back to the neighbor, back to the party, the pony kegs. The homegirl goes with us, right? Them dudes leave. Later on that night, they cruise by and something extensive happens. Let me tell you, Ricky came that close. They was targeting Rick, right? Rick was like, what was that? Felt like a mosquito. I said, nah, it was like a 22 or something, right? If that's what they call mosquitoes. Anyways, we end up fucking booking it, jumping into the whip. We go back to my tia's, and as soon as we walk in, my tia Norteno, she goes, okay, so you're back from being a part of your fucking super gang? My people, you don't understand, those were the homies. Yeah, but what happened? They ended up being fucking your enemy, huh? It always happens. You get your fucking ass in the house with your fat chick. Stay here, mijo. This is where I can protect you. I can't fight your battles for you. I'm like, Tia, will you fight battles for me? Fuck you, too. No, I'm not fighting battle fight. Oh, shit. Yeah, put it. Yeah, touch me right there. Touch me right there. I didn't even see the little paisa hiding behind her. This is how it was, right? So Ricky was all disappointed. I remember a week later going, he's all depressed sitting on the porch. I was like, what happened, fool? No, that's because I don't have more friends. I said, look, man, I'm going to hook you up, right? So there's a homeboy that I have, King Wappin. We're going to get into some videos about him because I already got Super Norteno. This dude was the originator of Wappin. He said, Wappin. Remember how the dude said, discúlpame? He said, Wappin, right? This was my boy, and I was like, I'm going to hook you up with a homeboy, man. You guys are going to be besties, bro. You guys are going to fucking be carnals. Watch. Together, you guys are going to fucking be inseparable. I dropped him off there. A week later, we had to fucking bail Ricky out. He was locked up for burglary. I forgot the homeboy was a fucking jacker, right? Hey, he took Ricky on some missions. Him and Ricky were inseparable. I've only seen Ricky twice be inseparable with people. One was that dude, and the other one was the Edgar from Stockton or Sacramento, his homeboy, right? That's his boy to this day. But anyways, yeah, Ricky, he tried to be a part of a fight. So stupid. He gets fucking jumped into a neighborhood that kicked with Southerners. He's dumb. That's just the way it is. That's kind of like me walking down the street like a baboso with my primo sweater on and it said a big old Su 13. The homeboys were on me like, what are you doing? Walking, fool, give me a ride. Nah, not with that on. I was like, what do you mean? This motherfucker's clean. It's a black sweater. No, it isn't. Look in the light. It was navy blue with the big Su 13 A-Town in the back. Yeah. I never lived that one down. Every day for like months, everyone would be like, hey, look, it's just the Southsider. I'll be like, whooping, right? I remember, hey, I couldn't wear a shred of blue because I've always been one of those dudes who wore every color. Even my tia, fucking stupid ass, look at you. That's the Sureño. Get in here, right? We already heard about you. You're all over town. They already talked about you. The stupid ass fucking walking around like this with a Su 13 on you. You fucking dummy. Ricky wants to fight you because of it. I had to calm him down. I'm not fighting your battles, but at the end of the day, you are my fucking nephew, and I do love you. Somewhat. That's just how it is. Anyways, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the Super Norteno. I'm going to do back-to-backers. Today, I promise, I got another one for you. It's a good one. So make sure that you guys watch it. Make sure you guys peep it. because it's called No Fair Ones. And that's just, hey, that's the prequel. I'm going to tell you right now, man, someone got dog walked. I'm not going to say who it is and why I got a lazy eye. Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that is the betterment of all people. Thank you. I appreciate you. Gracias. Goodbye.